Hey, what's up, high levelers? It's Andrew, and today we're talking more about Agent Studio, specifically how you can use custom values, global values, runtime values, and all of these different variables that we can use inside of Agent Studio and how all of them work. Of course, my name is Andrew, and let's dive right in. Now let's start with the two variables that we all should know about, custom values and custom fields. We can see both of these in custom values and custom fields inside of settings. Custom fields are already in your sub account, things like their customer's name, phone, email, stuff like that. That's what we're interacting with inside of Agent Studio. We can also interact with custom values as well, which are account level. So if we create a custom value inside of our account, let's say our business name, that works for now, then we can create and use these inside of Agent Studio. Now let's navigate back to one of our agents over inside of AI agents, and then we'll hop into this untitled agent here. Now our different variables can be used with our AI agent nodes. So if we drop an AI agent node onto our canvas here, then we can see inside of our prompt, we can click this drop down on the right hand side to get access to all of our different variables and custom fields. The first three are global configuration, input variables, and runtime variables. These three types of variables can be configured in the top of our toolbar under variables. You can see we have global, input, and runtime. Global variables are default values that are set in stone for the entire AI agent, so these don't change. The user doesn't input anything to change these. These are just global variables for our agents. So if we add in a global variable here, let's say like an API key, then we can add in our value, and now this is set up as a global variable. This can be number, string, boolean, JSON, anything we need this to be. We can have this set up here. We can even include global variables like sets of JSON to include pieces of code if we want to use those inside of our AI agents or inside of any of our routing tools. So that can be really helpful. Now also inside of our input variables, so whenever we click add input variable, we can include something like user query, user question, message, anything like this we can include here. So we'll just do message right here. And we'll say this is the user's message. So that's an example of an input variable. Then we have our runtime variables. Runtime variables are runtime variables that are populated whenever the actual agent starts running. So if the AI agent is creating, let's say, an image, this is one of our runtime variables. This will become a runtime variable when you add this in as an action inside of Agent Studio. So if it creates an image, the image URL now becomes a runtime variable. If it, let's say, creates a video or a piece of text, things like these can be our runtime variables, which we can then reference throughout the rest of the automation, if that makes sense. And because of that, as you can see here, you can't create any runtime variables. These just happen when you have an AI agent that is actually running. So for this example, let's go ahead and use this AI agent, and we're going to add on an action like an image generation. So we'll click add tool, and then we'll click image generation. Now that we have an image generation here, we'll include a prompt, and then you'll see here we immediately have our variable name. This is that example of a runtime variable. So once we save this, we go to variables, you'll see we now have a runtime variable for utilizing the URL to this generated image wherever else we need to inside the AI agent. Now back to the other types of custom fields and values and variables. When we go back to our agent prompts, we can click this drop down and we'll see that now we have access to that global, input, and runtime variables. We can click global and you'll see that we have our API key right here. So if we want to use this inside of an action, we can. And I'll talk more about a practical use case for that in a second. If we want to use our input variables like the user message, we can do that as well. This is a great example of just if we want to have an AI agent that responds to a message, we can just say respond to this message. And that's where that goes. Now, additionally, we also have access to our runtime variables here. So if we want to use the generated image URL right here in this step, we could, though obviously, as you can see, this wouldn't quite make sense because we haven't yet generated the image. So be careful with using your runtime variables. Make sure you're using them after the step would actually take place to generate whatever you're actually creating inside of your AI agent. Now, the other types of variables and types of custom values that we can use inside of this are account, custom values right now, and contact. So account are account-wide custom fields. So these aren't specific to customers. This is for your actual account. So your account ID, which is like your location ID, your name, which is your business name, full address, address lines, email, phone number, website, logo URL, and the owner information. So we can utilize all of these with account-based URLs. Custom values are going to be custom values, that one that we created earlier of the business name. That will show up in our prompt here. That's how we can use that. And then we also have access to right now variables. So these are based on the actual day and time. So you can get time variables, you can get the day, you can pull all this into your prompt. So this can all be really helpful in those scenarios. And lastly, you have contact specific custom fields. So this gives you access to contact name, address, email, custom fields, and so on. If we click custom field, then this just loads a pre-built little thing here, and we have to actually include the custom field. As of right now, this doesn't load all the custom fields from your account, but if you want to use custom fields, you can by utilizing this. And by doing that, we can access the contact information, we can access time variables. Each one of these can have a very specific purpose whenever we're using Agent Studio. So let's try out using some of these variables right now. We'll go ahead and delete one of these image generations. We'll attach this to our start node. So we're just going to make a very basic image generation AI agent. So we'll go ahead and give this a title of image gen. We'll click save. Then we can include in our prompt. So we'll put in our prompt, we'll put in our input variables as the user message. So whatever I message, it will actually create for me. So this can be helpful if we want to actually generate content straight from Ask AI or straight from a workflow or a form submission, however we're running this agent. But we'll just do this, make a X. We can keep our variable name here. We can pick our image model. So we'll use Gemini 2.5. We'll select an image, quality, and size, and then we can click save. Then we can use a router if we need to do anything like that, but we don't really have to, so we'll just do that. And then we can go ahead and test. So as you can see here, since we have this set up to just have a start trigger, we haven't designated if it's a form submission, lead tag, workflow, or chat message. Whenever we click test, we can actually input our message. So this is that input variable. And if you have all different input variables, whenever this is set up, then you can include all of those different things here. So we'll just say city, skyline with cool car in front of it. So before we can run this agent, we need to configure our start trigger, of course. So we'll go ahead and just do chat message. This will work well because we're just trying to talk with our agent and generate an image. So pretty straightforward. We'll go ahead and click test. We'll put in our message. So we'll say Dallas skyline with car in front of it. We'll say it's a cool car. And then we'll go ahead and click Start Chat. Now, before you run your agent, make sure you have your trigger set up, as we talked about. Inside of your AI agent, keep in mind that these different tools, even if they're AI tools, are separate from the agent itself. We have a prompt for our AI agent, but we also have a prompt for our tool. So our image prompt is to make this image. So if we want our AI agent to use that tool, we have to tell it, use your image generation tool and send the image back in chat. That's how we're setting this up. We don't necessarily have to click add a tool right here. This does mean that they are already attached to the agent. We don't have to actually add one here because you can see it is inside the card. If it's not in the card, then click add a tool and you can add it to the agent from there. Then when you set this up, we can go ahead and do our test. We'll put in Dallas City Skyline with cool car in front of it. Go ahead and click Start Chat. In this case, I tell it to use the image tool and make an image, and then it create the image with the Dallas City skyline and the cool car in front of it. Now, this is a very simple use case, but let me walk you through how we're using our different variables here. For one, we're using our input variable inside of our variable section under input. This is the message of the user and what they want created. Now, whenever we click test, we're including what that message is. So I include Dallas City Skyline, right? That's our input variable. Then inside of our AI agent, we don't necessarily have to use any of it, but let's say we want the AI agent to actually interact with the image tool in a different way. So maybe we want it to go through different iterations and make sure that it is up to the user's specification. So we can say, and make sure the user likes it. If not, run again, or anything like that. We can also include our custom values and custom variables that we were talking about earlier inside of this prompt, but a better place to include them would be in the image generation prompt itself. So if we use make a input message, which is Dallas City Skyline with cool car, then we'll also say with the word, and then we'll add under custom values, our business name. So if we want to make this image with the business name at the top of the photo, then we can go ahead and set that up, save, and we can test again. So we can say, create the image, make sure you have already put in your input variable, otherwise it won't be able to run. And there we go, it's generated the image again. Obviously some AI tools can't utilize text as well as some others, but you get the gist of how we can use our different custom values inside of our prompts for our tools as well as our AI agents. Just make sure that you're including those in the right places. And of course, keep in mind that you can do a lot of different things with these values. Again, you can write custom emails for your contacts using the contact custom fields. You can tie this in with MCP servers and APIs, and obviously that all gets pretty technical. But I hope this has given you some insight into how you can use different variables inside of Agent Studio. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to refer to the help doc or other videos that we have on Agent Studio to learn more about how to use this tool more in depth. Of course, my name is Andrew, and thank you very much for watching.